Hey guys, this is Stefan McMillan.
And Justin. Exposure is the #1 podcast in the world, according to many. Watson.
And you're listening to episode 6 of Exposure, a half-hour sit-down with some of online's newest and exciting content creators.
And tonight we have a YouTuber named Lawrence, aka LG. And if you notice, some of the music is a tad bit different. We're featuring some of his music. And we'll chat with him later on.
And let's start the show. Hello guys, we're back for another week of Exposure. I can't believe we're on episode 6 already. Thank you so much for all of your support. I'm actually really excited for this guest. I mean, I'm always excited, but I'm especially excited because he's actually a friend of mine. He's a rapper and he has his own network. Lawrence Gilmer will be talking with us in just a bit. Also, Philosophical Corner and How to Get Away with YouTube.
And to kick off things, here is Philosophical Corner. And today for Philosophical Corner, we have a strange one. Now, you know how people say, I could care less, or I couldn't care less?
Yeah, that drives me crazy.
Yeah, me too. And I just wanted to talk about, like, I guess this is like one of those, is the cup half full or half empty? For me, I say I couldn't care less because that means there's nothing left. Like, there's no care at all. I couldn't. We would go into negative. And I could care less means, well, there's something there. There's a little bit there. You could care some.
Yeah, that's just being grammatically correct, I think.
Yeah, that's like, especially a lot of people say, like, they try and say it in, like, a way where you're trying to, I guess, insult somebody. But if you're going to insult somebody, do it right. Get your life together.
Right.
Like, you can't insult me and be wrong.
I was trying to think of, like, what's another one that drives me crazy, but actually, yeah, when people say I could care less instead of I couldn't care less, that's my #1 pet peeve. Just like you're trying to sound smart, but you failed miserably.
I have another one.
Okay.
Can't have your cake and eat it too. Excuse me? What you mean I can't have my cake and eat it too? And don't let me bake it. Yeah, I'm going to eat some of that cake. Could you imagine you at somebody's party and they blow out the candles and literally they're like, all right, well, I'm just going to go in another room because I can't have none of this. Get out of here. I mean, I know that's not what the term means, but it's just like, that's so stupid. Guys, you can set aside your wine glasses now. We'll be right back in the interview with Lawrence.
And we're back with our very special guest, Lawrence Gilmer. Thank you for coming, Lawrence.
Oh, not a problem, man. I'm glad to be here, actually. Here in the good land of the internet land. Yeah, something.
All right. So, as long as I can remember, there's been so many YouTube networks that have come out. There's Full Screen, Machinima, Maker Studios, and you came out and created your own network, and it's doing amazing. So what inspired you to come up with Dynasty Network?
Funny thing how that happened, actually. I was actually playing Xbox with a friend of mine who had his own little network. And I was really kind of like down in the dumps with YouTube. And I was like, man, I really wanted to make, some money off of it and also be able to help other people on a grand scale. And the guy told me, he was like, in the Xbox Live party, no less. And playing 2 totally different games. And he just said, out of the blue, he said, look, you want to start your own network? I thought he was joking at first. So I was like, yeah, okay. I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, I'm serious. All you got to do is just come up with a name, mission statement, all that stuff, and you got it. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, shoot, let me go ahead and do it. And I just took a chance and go ahead to do it and put something on a grand scale, and just to create, a dynasty, stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, what are some things that goes into running a network?
Patience. a lot of patience. 'Cause you're dealing with a lot of people. People with different mindsets, people that really, a lot of people that are like kind of feel this like, have a art against YouTube at times, because it's like, people are like, a lot of people are focused on that whole big YouTuber versus small YouTuber deal, and dealing with that is kind of a big issue. Dealing with, people's, morale. The morale is really the big issue. And once you get people, to kind of get past that, like, look, okay, don't really care too much about the big YouTubers. They're where they're at. Okay. You gotta, get yourself together. If you want to get to that level, then it's going to take some work, period. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the hardest, I think the hardest part, like I said, is just dealing with the people, period. Dealing with them that's the hard part.
All right, so how would you say your faith plays a role in your video making and how you run your channel and your network?
That's a very good question. I like your channel. I like your questions, bro. I'm taking notes. I'm actually making notes of these questions, bro. But so yeah, if you hear these questions again, asking somebody else, just know I got it from y'all. But anyway, that's a good question. The faith, I believe that personally, that what I do, I try to make my faith in what I believe a part of me. Like, whatever it is, it's a part of me. I've always believed that my channel, that any video that you upload on your channel is an extension of who you are. Whether it's temporary, permanent, whatever. I believe that any video that I do is somewhat an extension of me, even if I'm cussing somebody out, or if I'm mad at somebody, and I'm quote unquote, got a beef with somebody or whatever. If I speak my mind, it's a part of me, period. So that's why, one of the reasons why I'm careful, I try to be careful about what I put up. I try to be careful about, or at least how I say it, cause how you say it makes a big difference. You can get views off of what you say, but 9 times out of 10, it's sometimes people will take what you say and they can twist it all the way around. And next thing you know, you'll end up looking like a bad guy because of something that you said that you meant well, but somebody else took it all the way into left field. And, especially with the way today is, but at the end of the day, having a conviction about myself, believing in what I stand on too. So, if I say something and I don't agree with it, I'm not going to waver on it. I'm just going to say, this is why I don't agree with it. And, what's unique about me is that I definitely, do my best to agree to disagree. So, I know, me and you, Stefan, have not agreed on a lot of things, but at the end of the day, that's not going to change my view on you as a person, period. That's just the way I am. So that's.
Well, speaking of that, I kind of wanted to ask you, and I think Justin may have something to say too, about one of your more, I guess, controversial videos.
Okay.
I guess a few months ago, you released a video called Feminism and Bill Cosby. So I think that was a while ago, and a lot of new information's come out and stuff. Do you still have the same views as you had in that video? And I guess maybe explain what you thought.
As far as what, feminism or Bill Cosby, or both? Both. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go for the lighter topic. I'm gonna start off with, Bill Cosby. Starting off with Bill, I definitely think that, I definitely think that all that coming out, I still kind of believe the same thing along those same lines. It's like, it doesn't make sense how, like, if that really did happen, if you think about it, I don't think a lot of that happened the way, they said it happened, for one. And I do understand that's one thing I didn't put in the video, because I was trying to make a point. I do understand that when you are in a situation like that, if you were raped or something, sometimes it does take a toll on you, and it does take it does take a lot. I've never been that, thankfully, but I do understand mentally how taxing it can be. So but at the same time, you still have to do something, and you have to do it ASAP, because the longer you wait, the more it eats up at you, and the more it could take a toll on you. That's with anything in life, period. When you go through something traumatizing, the quicker you let that cut stay there, the worse the scar will be. And that's why a lot of people, when they have those scars, and, I'm talking physically, have scars, and that's why they still look the same way they do. They look all nasty and stuff like that, is because they didn't properly treat it. In that aspect, I think, if you really believe that Bill Cosby raped you, you should have been on that within the first, you should have been staying on it. No make a difference how many people didn't believe you, how many people didn't say anything about you, or says you're lying or whatever. You and them know what happened, and situations like that sometimes do take a bit of persistence. So these people popping up 20 something years later, when Bill Cosby finding out that Bill Cosby's trying to do something with his career, and trying to advance something and to make something for, black people that's going to be a positive influence. All this happened to pop up at the same time. It kind of makes you think, what I'm saying? Now, granted, we don't know the situation. We don't know, that. But like I said, it just kind of makes you wonder. Sometimes you just can't take everything at face value, and it kind of makes people, it kind of, what's the word? I guess attributes to what we see in society, that like a woman can cry rape, what I'm saying? And without question, the guy can be in trouble unless he's already popular, what I'm saying? And that's not fair at all. What I'm saying? Go ahead.
Well, wouldn't you say that it's far less likely that someone's crying rape and it's untrue versus the amount of people that have gotten away with rape?
Lying versus the ones that got away with it. It's when you bring up rape, it's such a big topic to where like you're not sure if this really happened or not. If you're looking on the outside in, let's just put it like that, from the outside in perspective, you're not looking at, you really can't perceive it as like, did this really happen? I'm like, whoa, are you, like, you're joking, right? It's like, when somebody tells you something, it's like, nah, you joking, right? It's one of those. So it's, a lot of people could be, it's either or, but you really gotta take it on a case by case basis, because you don't know the mentality of a person too. So that's why it's like, you have to approach it. It's how you approach it. You can't just sit there and say a woman cries rape, then you just, the man's instantly in trouble. You know what I'm saying? You got to actually look at it and say, okay, look, what happened? What led up to the events? What caused it? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of questions that go involved. So, you definitely got to play it, you got to play it by ear. Instead of, that's one of those situations you just can't just put a stamp on and say, okay, this is this. You know what I'm saying? You got to take a dive in, dig into what that person is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm a little confused, because it seems like, they're like, all of the victims of the Bill Cosby case or whatever, some of them did come out 20 years ago, and they were ignored, they were pushed under, or they settled out of court. So I don't get the whole point of, it's 20 years later, and also it's 20 years later, but imagine a woman in the 60s trying to claim rape opposed to today. So I feel like it's a little unfair to the victims to say, you should have had the courage to just come out and say it. But it's just like, yeah, but it's an embarrassing thing. It's
Yeah.
someone's extremely violated, and not only that, if you do, sometimes you do tell somebody and it doesn't even turn out to anything.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, and you definitely right. 20 years ago, a woman calling rape would be is definitely a big difference between then and now. And I definitely agree with you, and that's the reason why I'm saying that you have to take it on a case by case basis. And in some cases, like a lot of people, what you're having is a lot of people now are just jumping on bandwagons. When you do stuff like this, you always have to worry about, well, not necessarily worry about, you always have the issue with what I call it, bandwagoners. You know what I'm saying? People from the outside that are looking in that really have no bearing on the situation. And especially when it comes in society too, that's another issue that you have as well. I'm not saying that rape is not serious, because it is. It's definitely a serious crime. I'm never going to say that, because that is something you don't, if they don't want to give it to you, then don't take, you can't violate that. You know what I'm saying? And that goes both ways. Men shouldn't be violating women, and women sure as heck shouldn't be trying to violate no man. And that's real talk. However, which kind of goes into the feminism, it kind of goes into like this balance has shifted now from one extreme to the other. If you pay attention, it's like, you got to keep it goes from keeping everything quiet, like back in the day where it used to be like, the women had no voice, and now is all of a sudden now the women have a voice, and it's like things are getting twisted. You know what I'm saying? In some instances, like a lot of things with feminism, I don't agree with feminism. I agree with gender equality. I don't agree with feminism. And the reason why I say that is because anything, like I'll even use the basic scratching the surface. Now, we all, like I said in the video, we all paid attention in English class, right? I hope you know what I'm saying? Anything with an ISM at the end of it is generally not a good thing. Favoritism, not good. You know what I'm saying? Racism, not good. You know what I'm saying? Basically, anything that has exclusivity of a particular thing, that's what the ism stands for. You know what I'm saying? Capitalism. You know what I'm saying? So you look at those three isms right there, and then you turn around and say, oh, feminism is a good thing. That's kind of asinine, if you know what I'm saying? So that's basically like I said, right there, that whole ISM right there on the surface, that already is a bad thing, because like I said, to me, it's you're favoring the feminine, the feminines, you know what I'm saying? The femininity, which is, like I said, I don't have a problem with, equal, women wanting equal rights. That's not I believe that women should get, if they went to the same school, if they got education, if they, got all their, credentials and stuff like that, then yeah, and they apply for the same place as a man. If she wants to work as a construction worker, she wants to work as a mechanic, do it, you know what I'm saying? And she should get paid the same way.
Well, wouldn't you say that feminism is working towards gender equality?
If I had more, I put it like this, if I would have seen more evidence supporting it, then I would. But a lot of stuff that I'm seeing now, I do understand that there are like a lot of extremists in every case. I do understand that, but from what I'm seeing, no. If you're going to call it feminism, if you're going to work for gender equality, call it gender equality, or make up another name for it. You know what I'm saying? So, feminism, it doesn't work for me. I'm partially a rapper too. So words have meanings. You know what I'm saying? I'm words, you got to be careful with your words. You know what I'm saying? So, some certain things just shouldn't be done like that. Like a lot of stuff that feminists, are doing, trying to call things like street harassment, trying to do things like, trying to, make simple things a big issue. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen one article where, some feminists were talking about men sitting on the subway with their legs open. men do that in general. You know what I'm saying? That's how men sit. Like, that's how we sit. I don't always sit with my legs together. I have something between my legs that kind of needs to breathe. You feel me? So I don't sit with my legs wide open, but I sit with them open enough. And the fact that you're going to sit up here, you know, and worry about that means there's something wrong with you. Like, why are you looking down there to begin with? I mean, it's not, you know, it's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? There are other things that we could be worrying about. There's other equality issues that we could be worrying about. You know what I'm saying? Like, women do need to get equal pay. Like, I mean, if you got the same credentials, we all go to the same school, then yeah, definitely, you know, work on stuff like that.
Well, my biggest issue with the whole anti-feminism thing is the whole, it's like being anti-Islamic to me. It's like, yeah, they're extremists. The media is putting the extremists out there, so we're gonna put all of them together and then say, well, we're anti this. And I feel like somebody who is a feminist like me, and I believe feminism is the equality of genders, not necessarily just the promotion of women. I feel like that's a little disingenuous to do something like that, because every movement has its points where it needs to be restructured and recalculated, and maybe feminism is at that point right now. So being anti-feminist is not going to help recollect the movement and push it forward in the direction it needs to be. It's just like being anti-Occupy Wall Street. And what happened with that? You just disbanded Occupy Wall Street instead of, okay, let's come back together, recalculate, and push our movement forward. So it's just setting things backwards instead of actually helping. All right, so I'm a new person to YouTube. I could be an old person, young person. I've never uploaded a video. I've never watched a video. I stumble across your channel. Why should I subscribe?
Subscribe, huh? Because you should. I mean, it's positivity. Why wouldn't you want to subscribe to positivity? You got all that negative stuff going on out there. You got, you know, fights on YouTube. You got so much stuff. You got twerking on YouTube, which, well, actually, that's not too bad, depending on what. But that's another story for another day. No, I'm just playing. But anyway, but no, I'm just playing. If you know, you want somebody that's positive, you know, that's gonna, you know, that's gonna do your best to try to get you involved too. You know, that's gonna, you know, be a more positive influence and keep it real with you at the same time. Right here, right here. Yeah, me.
And the next one is, if you could have a YouTuber's login for 24 hours, it could be any YouTuber. You can do something nice. You can do something mean. You can take down a channel you disagree with. You can promote yourself on PewDiePie's channel. Whose login do you want?
Whose login do I want? Ooh, okay. That's actually a 2-part question. I actually like that. Can I have, I got options, man. I want to do black nerd comedies. I'll say black nerd comedy for one. Who's another bigger YouTuber that I want to, you know, get a hold of, that I would like to get a hold of. I'm trying to think, like a bigger gaming channel, like, and also a bigger music channel too. But I'll just say for now, let's just say black nerd comedy for now. And what I would do with it, I would definitely promote the crap out of myself. I would. I'm not going to lie to you. I will promote the crap out of myself. Why? Because simply put, because when I do it, like when I get to that point, I definitely want to be able to take other people with me. So, you know, it kind of may seem a little selfish, but in the for that moment, but in the long run, I know what I'm doing. So like that way it'll kind of promote myself in the Dynasty network and, promote myself in the Dynasty and, you know, we can get a little bit of traffic there and then just build off of it from there, you know, cause I could use the help right about now. Yeah. And that's why I'm here trying, you know, I'm doing my best to help y'all, you know, I mean, who else can say that they've been exposed, like for real?
Hi ho, folks, this is Turwinkle of the Adventures of Turwinkle, the Gnome Mage, at youtube.com/PalmerBomber1, and you're listening to Exposure.
Hey guys, it's Stefan. Hope you're enjoying the episode so far. Justin and I are now making it easier than ever to get your exposure fix. Along with YouTube and iTunes, you guys can now check us out on TuneIn, Cast Roller, and Double Twist. Just search Exposure with Stefan McMillan and Justin Watson. And now, back to the show. And we're back with one of my favorite segments. It's one of my favorites because it lets you guys get to know a little bit about us. It's Sidebar.
I thought the article was your favorite segment, but anyhow. And today we're going to be, I'm going to be because answering this question because Stefan's channel is just his name because he's basic. So it is, where did you come up with your channel name? Now, a lot of people want to know, what does slow listen mean? It literally means what it sounds like.
Really?
A list of slow people.
Oh, okay.
Now, I know. But this is what happened. Because we came up with this in middle school, right? And this spread throughout the entire school, like, so we would like, if you would say something dumb or stupid, or you couldn't come up with the answer fast enough. Like when we said slow, we meant like you couldn't think fast. Like you wasn't witty, cause I'm witty. So if you wasn't witty, you wasn't thinking fast. You weren't fast. Cause fast meant.
Well, you think you're witty.
No, I know I'm witty. So you couldn't think fast enough, and you tried it, but you couldn't think fast enough. And that's what that meant. All right. So we did the opposite, and then we would actually write it down. And let me tell you, this expanded. We used to do couples. We used to do the love list to keep track, because I was like the gossip. And this is big, especially on MySpace days where you post bulletins at the slow list. And I used to put people's family on there and stuff, all that. And then what really solidified it was when Miss Kelly, all right, shout out to Miss Kelly, and she gave, you know, what are those like class awards, those
superlatives?
Yeah, superlatives. Yeah, superlatives.
the one time I knew something, I mispronounced it.
And then, so instead of her giving out the smartest one, she was like, I've heard something about a slow list, and we're going to give this. So we're going to, she gave it to Takia or somebody, and it was the fastest award. And I was like, wow, I made change in this school. I did that. And we started that in 6th grade, and this was in 7th grade. This went on.
Yeah. And
the reason why I named my channel that, is that remember way back I told you guys that I had a channel and it got shut down, or I took it down because of the school. That was youtube.com/slowlist.
Oh, really?
And I don't know if I could ever get that back now, but back in the day, like when you deleted a channel, the URL was like gone. So, yeah. And then I kept slow list. Of course, I've matured and I'm more politically correct now, but I kept slow list because it was original, and I didn't want nobody to think I was Beyonce, so I wanted to keep original.
Cool.
And that's
I'm
it.
sorry. But yeah, like Justin said, my YouTube name is just my name, and it's really unoriginal, doesn't have a cool story. Thanks for sharing that, Justin. We'll be right back with our obsessions of the week.
And guys, make sure you check out Stefan's channel, youtube.com/basic. And we have come to the conclusion of our show, guys. Wasn't that a really controversial interview?
Yeah, some interesting viewpoints there.
I would say so. And guys, if you want to comment on that, please tweet us at Exposure Show. Like us on Facebook at Exposure Pod and at Exposure POD. If you're on YouTube, just go to youtube.com/slowless-in-your-face. This is episode 6, so just search it up there and leave a comment and leave your thoughts on the situation. And don't forget to leave us a rating on iTunes. 5 stars is the only thing we're accepting at the moment. And don't forget to check out our guests.
Or just search Lawrence Gilmer. You know, he'll pop up immediately. Or search the Dynasty Network.
We do have a channel shout out. We have a DigiDan, and DigiDan does gaming videos. He kind of reviews some gaming too. So shout out to him. And if you want to be a guest, just email us at slowlessinyourface. Oh gosh, wrong email. Just email us at slowlessnetwork@gmail.com and we'll get back to you. And thank you so much once again for listening. And we'll see you in the next episode of Exposure.